Oh, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. This is our holiday special of our instruments for change. Now, today we are going to be playing some of our what is considered Christmas songs. Um, so, these songs are found in our hymnal, and we're going to be playing them today. I'm going to show you 3 steps to learning these songs for those who want to learn quickly. Also, I am assuming that those who will be learning today will be those who have some kind of piano experience. But I'm going to demonstrate today, before I play the first song, I am going to demonstrate today how easy it is, based on the principles that we have been learning in previous lessons, how easy it is to learn or to learn piano. So beside me is uh, an unexpected victim. Her name is Daniel. Daniel, she doesn't know what is going to happen, but I'm going to use Daniel as my guinea pig today, and we're going to just see how easy it is to learn piano. So Daniel, let me tell you what you're going to be playing. I just played Joy to the World. You're going to be playing Joy to the World. All right. So let's we are going to have Daniel come into the seat of, and we are going to demonstrate. Now, one of the things that we did the last time around is that we learned the scales. So Daniel, you're going to play all the white notes. It doesn't matter which fingers you use, which hand you use. It doesn't matter. Just play all the white notes, one behind the other, up from this note C, which is to the left of the 2 black keys, to this C. So from this C to this C. Play them for me, please. Very good. Do you know what that sound is? No, it's the scale. Very good. So play it again for me. Very good. Now I want you to play the same thing, descending from this C to that one. And from the fingers you see Daniel using, you see how much piano experience she has had. So now I'm going to ask you to play it descending again from this C to that C. So do you know this? Do you know how to play on the piano the song Joy to the World? No. All right. So this is what I want you to do. Play from this C to this C once more. Now this time you're going to play from this C, descending the C major scale, but this time sing in your mind Joy to the World and play what you hear coming from your mind while playing from this C to that C. Joy to the World. Do it one more time. All right. Congratulations, Daniel. You just played Joy to the World. That is how easy piano is. Thank you very much, Daniel. And it was so nice for you to be my victim. Have a good day. All right. So today we are going to be learning how easy it is to play the piano. As you see demonstrated just now, it's so easy to learn. I taught you about the scales and the chords, and that was exactly how easy it is. And I love to surprise students like that, because everything in music, as long as you can follow these patterns and find the notes, it's that easy to play. So let's start with joy to the world. Now, if you know your scale, that's a C major scale. And we're going to use that to play joy to the world. Now, this is another thing that I'm going to be bringing in this lesson is that I am going to be demonstrating how it is we should practice, how we should practice. Good practicing habits will take you far away. I know musicians that have been practicing for years and years and years and don't know how to practice, and they cannot retain a lot of the things that they practice. Now I'm going to show you an easy way to practice, and this is going to help you to retain a whole lot. All right. Now, remember the philosophy. We do not practice until we get it right. We practice until we cannot get it wrong. Cannot. Impossible. So we're going to start with joy to the world. Now, joy to the world, it starts by using the descending C major scale. It's written in the key of C, and we're going to use the descending C major scale. So it's so what we need to do is just to practice that over and over until we get it right. So let's practice it again. Now, when we have practiced that and we know it, then we move to the next portion of the song. I'm going to be using language that I help my students to use to understand, especially younger students. So we use words like skip, next, up, down, and phrases like that for us to understand the direction where to go and how to remember. Now, one of the cardinal rules of music is that if it don't sound right, it's not right. So use your ears a whole lot. So this first song, we're going to be using our ears. Okay? So let's play that first line again. And what I'm going to be asking you to do is, I want you to pause the video and practice, and then when you have learned that, then you can come to the other parts of the video and learn the rest of it. Now let's go to the second line. The second line, it starts on G. Let's play that again. Now, if you remember, G is where the three black keys are found. It's in the middle to the left, or some teachers might say it is to the right of F. Anyway, you remember it, remember it. Now, so we start with G. Now, for this second part, we're going to be playing two notes at a time. So play from G to A, or play from G and we go up one, right? Then we go to A and play the next two. Same pattern. From A to B, which is from A, and we go up one. Then we start on B, and then we go up one. So we end up on C. So these two, then these two, then these two. So let's try that now. And we practice that as many times as we need to practice it, that we don't forget. The mistake that we make sometimes is that we try to learn the entire song all at once. No. There is a riddle or a story I hear when this little girl asks her daddy, "Daddy, how do you eat an elephant?" And when the daddy couldn't figure it out, she said, "One bite at a time." No, and that's how we eat everything, don't we? So what we need to do is to take it in small bites. And we remember these small bites, and then we add it to what we had before. So the second part we're learning now. Okay, so let's add it now to what we had before. So all we're learning right now is the melody. So let's try it again. Very good. And what we do is that we practice that over and over and over again, to remember what is it. And if you look at the script, it's right there. We are looking at the notes at the very top. Those are the notes that we are playing right now. And if you can read a little bit in music, all you need to do is to remember that you're playing the notes at the top. And if you see all four notes line up immediately above or below each other, that is what we'll play all at once as a chord. But what we are concentrating is the note at the top. All right, beautiful. So let's look at the next line. Now the next line is like this. So let's play that again. So it's the same line played twice. Same line played twice. So we start at C, and we will not be missing any notes descending. Just like playing the C major scale descending, but we're not going all the way to the end. But when we get to G, we are going to repeat G. So we're playing two notes on C, then we descend to G, and then we repeat G. So it's C, 2 on G, 2 on C, 2 on G. And we play that over and over again. So just as a demonstration, how we should practice it. Now, others might be listening to you while you're practicing, and they might be getting annoyed that you're playing the same thing over and over again. Ignore that. You have to practice, and you are learning. Eventually, you're going to learn the entire song, and they will be pleased to listen to you singing, to listen to you playing the song. So, practice over and over again these little pieces, these little bites, until you get that little part, and then you add it to what you had before. So let's start from the beginning to there. And when you have completed that, don't try to go on. Play it once again, and play it as many times as you need to play it for you to get it not just perfect, but you cannot get it wrong. So you play it over and over and over again. So let's look at the next line. The next line, which in the first verse said, "And heaven and nature sing." Let's do that again. So let's look at what's happening there. So we start on E, and there's three notes involved: E, F, and G. Now the pattern that we'll learn starting on E will be the same pattern we'll learn in the second part of it. So let's learn the first part. So we play 5 times on E. That's what we do. 5 times on E, and then we run up to G. So let's try that. good for us to count when we're doing it. Music is about patterns, it's about rhythm, it's about counting, all that is involved. So let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I were teaching a child, a young child, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run. So you want to teach a rhythm for you to remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run. So you get that pattern that you want, that rhythm that you want. You find little things that will help you, and you will know the things that helps you. So let's try that again. Try it my way. You can find your own way. There's not ever just one way to do it. Okay? So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run. Then we do the same thing on D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run. Says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run. All right. But there's something that comes in between. But I want you to learn just those two parts first because they are exactly alike. Okay, let's try it. Now, there are two notes that come in between those two phrases. And those two notes are F and E. So, is that you're running down to D. So you run up to G, then you run down to D and repeat the pattern. So let's play everything together. All right? So, all right. Okay. So that run that we do from F and E will replace one of the D's. Okay? So instead of 2, 3, 4, 5 and run. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are going to replace the first D with that run. So it's 4. Okay. So let's do both together now. Let's do it again. So you can use anything, any method to remember it. And the best method, of course, is singing the song. When you sing the song, it is the best way. Remember, if it don't sound right, it's not right. Okay? All right. So let's put the whole thing from beginning to end together. This is the best practice method you can ever use. Okay? Let's try it from the beginning. Very good, very good. I like that. And remember again, you can pause and you can go and practice and then you come back and do the remaining of the lesson. Remember, and this is the advantage of having it online, that you can do all these things with it. Another thing you must remember is where the first phrase ends and where the second phrase picks up. Very, very important. For instance, where we do our first phrase, we end on C. The second phrase picks up at G. It ends on C, and the third phrase starts on C. And the next phrase starts on E, the same place the phrase before it ended. And then we can go to our next phrase. Now our next phrase is going to start on E. So the phrase before it ended on F, and E is the one just before it. And this is what makes this song easy, because The phrases stop and start just about the same place. And so you don't have a lot of searching to do. But most important, anticipate what is coming up next. Once you have practiced enough, what you realize is that sometimes we stop to think, oh, what is coming next? But if you anticipate what's coming next, then it's going to be easy for you. Okay, our next phrase starts on E, which is one below where we stopped the last time, which is F. All right. It's just a run from E to C, EDC. Then we jump from C to the next C, one whole octave. And if you remember what an octave is, 8 notes. And then from there, it's very easy. Sorry. Okay, so let's discuss what just happened. We run from E to C, EDC, and then we skip, we jump, huge jump, to the octave above it, C. Then our next note is A, which is not immediately below C, but 2 notes down. So we're going to skip 1 note to find our next note. So we skip that note. Skip. So if you say run, jump, skip, this may help you to remember. Now from A, we're going to do 4 notes down. That's 4 notes. Then we're going to, that ends on E. Then we go 1 above, which is F, and do 4 notes down. So remember, all these songs are just a bunch of patterns. So it's the first pattern, 4 down. Then we start on F and do the same thing. So let's do that run from E, jump, then skip, then, and of course, this is for the benefit of those who might not be able to read music right now. And you're going to be, because we're teaching how to read music on these lessons also. So just keep tuned and you'll find out and you'll learn how to read music, okay? So let's try that again. We run from E, jump, skip, 4 down, then 4 down again from F. So let's practice that. And remember, we have to practice over and over and over and over until we cannot get it wrong. So when we get to that point, we are going to start the entire song. No, we have learned this song. And remember, when you do it in small bites like this, you learn in 1 hour what it would take a days to learn. Just pick it off, small bites, and you can learn it quickly. So let's do it from the top. And I mean, this is one of the most fun things that I do as a music teacher. It really excites me when my students do this. All right? So let's start from the top. And I'm going to talk through this one now so we can remember the patterns that we used before. All right. So we're going to do the descending. We'll start with the descending C major scale. Then we'll start on G, 2 notes. A, 2 notes. B. Then from C again. And I must congratulate you for staying with this one. All right, so So remember, practice over and over and over and over again. All right, we're going to turn to another song, and quickly, but this one, I would like you to read it. This one is Hark, the Herald Angels Sing. All right, so when you look at Hark, the Herald Angels Sing, those of you who have the Seventh-day Adventist hymn book, it's 122, and our other hymn books, it will be there. But now I need you to look at the notes and try and play these notes. So we start on C, then to F, to E, F, A, G. So when you're reading, I want you to do the very same thing. Practice in small parts. So let's look back on it. So we start on C. We play 2 on F, then E, back to F, then 2 on A, and then G. So what I need you to do is to play that over and over again. And there's nothing wrong with starting reading the notes and then memorizing it afterwards. Absolutely nothing wrong. If your music teacher tells you that something is wrong with that, don't tell her what I told you. Keep that as a secret between us, okay? Now, so let's do it again. So what we're going to do now is go to the next line. The next line starts on A. Sorry, on C. So we play 3 on C, B flat, A, G, A. So we play 3 on C, B flat, then A, G, A. And you practice that over again. So it will be. So let's do it from the top. Remember, we're doing this in small bites. Practicing that small bite, remembering it, then we add the rest of it to it. Okay? Small bites. There's 2 small bites together now. Very good. So let's look at the next line and see what is familiar about the next line. It is the same thing as the first one. Once you learn the first line, that third phrase or that third line is just the same thing. So we know that. Now let's get to the fourth phrase or the fourth line. So we go from C to G twice, to E, E again, D, C. So let's play that now in the right rhythm. So once you learn the first line, all you have to concentrate now is on the second and the fourth. All right, let's do that. Same as the first now. So let's go to the next line. Remember, put everything together and practice it. And then you go to the next line, which will say in words, joyful, all ye nations rise. Let's go. So let's start. It starts on C, 3 times on C. Then we go to F, Then we go back up to B flat, twice on A, and then G. What you'll notice is that the line that follows that is exactly the same. So once you practice that first line, joyful all ye nations rise, the next line which follows, join the triumph of the skies, it's the same note. And then you put that together with the rest of the song. Then let's move on to the next line. It starts on D. No, and remember these patterns are going to repeat somewhere along the line. This is what makes it so much fun. When you can see it and you can recognize it and say, oh, I did that before, and this is just like what happened before. It's really, really exciting. So we start on D. So 3 on D, C, B flat, A, C. Okay. Now that line is going to come back in the song. Let's look at the line that follows that starts on G. So it starts on G, then runs from A to B flat to C, then F, G, A. So let's start that again. So let's do that whole line together. Now, once you get there, the next line that says, Hark, Herald, angels sing, is the same tune as with, or the same notes as with the angelic host proclaim. So it's with, it's the same thing as Hark, Herald, angels sing. And all you have to learn now is glory to the newborn king, which is almost like Christ is born in Bethlehem. So in Bethlehem we'll go, and newborn king is just one note separated. So let's practice now. Let's play it from the top to the end by reading. And remember, do it in small bites, and then you can put it together. All right? That is it. So I'll see you in a moment when we get back. Practice, practice, practice.
The next person in line, your friend at school or your co-worker, may have COVID-19 and not know because they have no symptoms. You, on the other hand, could be hospitalized for 2 months or more if you become infected. Is it worth it? Stay socially connected, but keep the physical distance. Stay 6 feet away and avoid a hospital stay. COVID-19 is not over. Protect yourself while protecting others. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
welcome back, welcome back. Now, when we left just now, we learned how to play with our right hand, the melody. Now we're going to add just one more note to it right now. And what we're going to do is to add a left hand note to it. Just one note. So we're playing one note with the left hand, one note with the right hand. All right. So let's remind ourselves what we are doing with our melodies, how we started our melodies. So this is Joy to the World. Beautiful. All right. Now, what we are going to do is just to add one note in the left hand. Now, the left hand will not be very fussy, but the left hand will supply some support to what we're doing in the right hand. It is the base or the foundation of the chord. All right. So, what the first note we're going to add in the left hand is just C, and we're not going to play the same amount of notes with the left hand that we're playing with the right hand. So we're just going to add that one note C. So that's just for Joy to the World. Then we're going to add G, then back to C. Let's try it again. One more time. So, what we must remember is at what point do we change from the C in the left hand to the G, then back to C. So let's start. So we start at Joy. The Lord has come. The Lord has come. All right. So we know that first line. Let's go to the second line. Let earth receive her king. So we're going to start with F. Let earth receive her king. So it's okay. So now we have learned the first two phrases. Okay, what comes after that? This phrase that we played twice. And all we have to do with that phrase is to play C over and over again. So it will be let's try that again. And remember now, when you practice, don't try and get to the end of the song all at once. Practice everything you started with up to that point that you have learned. So let's start over again. Very good, very good, excellent. Now, the next line. Let's try that. So we play twice on C, and then we play twice on G. Twice on C, twice on G. Let's try that again. All right, and then we put the whole thing from beginning to end together again. Remember, this is the best way to practice. And then we have the last line to do now. So play it 2 times on C, once on G, then back to C. And what you'll notice is that where the song starts, it ends on the tonic or the root of the chord almost 100% of the time. So twice on C, once on G, then we go back to C where we end. We resolve the song by coming to rest. So let's do the whole thing from beginning to end now, adding the left hand. And adding the left hand is more about concentration. It's not hard. All we have to do is to practice over and over again. Let's start from the beginning. And what you'll notice also is that I am making mistakes too, so there's nothing wrong with you making mistakes. You just have to keep practicing over and over until you cannot make a mistake. You cannot get it wrong. So let's do that once more and then we'll move to our next song. Very good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So let's move to the song that we were reading. Now I'm going to point out a couple of things that you may want to know about reading music and taking it step by step, especially when you see it in the hymn book, and where I'm going to just put little pieces of the music together that you can build. So before you get to playing the entire song, like before we get to that stage, we're going to put it together in little pieces. And how is it that you're going to read from the hymn book? Now, what is most important is this, that we hardly play exactly what's in the hymn book, because the hymn book is designed for singers. So you'll find soprano, alto, tenor, and bass written in the hymn book. For the pianist, for the accompanists, well, we are going to take a lot of the clues from the hymn book, but then we are going to build on it. we're going to create our own feel from it, and we're going to use it. But we're going to have to know how to build with it. Now, I'm breaking it down that we can use it a little at a time. Now, when we look at the hymn book, when we look at Hark the Herald Angels Sing, if we can look at the music now, we will see a lot of notes in the right hand and also in the left hand. What we are going to do, we're going to look at each measure. And we're going to, first of all, take just the first note from each measure. So what are measures? What are bars? The music on the music sheet or in the hymn book, it's divided up into measures or bars. And you have what we call bar lines. Now, the note that comes immediately after the bar line is what we're going to pay attention to first. So, I am going to assume now that you have learned the right hand. You're now good enough that you don't have to pay a lot of attention to it. You can pay attention to the left hand now. Now, we're going to just take the first note from each measure. So the first measure, we have F. So we're going to play the first measure, which is, that's the first measure. And what we're going to do is to add the first note, which is F, to what we just played. That's all. Now, sometimes the rule that I'm teaching you, it has to be broken a little bit, okay? So bear with me when I know it has to be broken, because it's not perfect, but it helps us to learn easier. In the second measure, we start on A, but the song comes to rest when we switch to C, which is the last note in that measure. So it will the second measure starts like this. Angels sing. So with the A in the left hand. So if we stay on A, it wouldn't sound right because it would not have resolved. So we're going to start on A, then switch to C. So you notice we're not playing all the notes. We're playing select notes. Okay. So let's try it from the first one where we'll play F. Then we're going to play A to C in the second measure. Okay. You see what I did there? Okay, let's try it again. So now we have the first measure and the second measure. Let's go to the third measure. Now looking at the third measure, it starts with A. Again, it doesn't come to rest on A, it comes to rest on B flat. So we have to play A to B flat. So it's so let's do the measure that comes after that because it makes sense. So we go from A to B flat to C, and then we come to rest on F. All the notes are there. You'll see A, then you'll see B flat, then you'll see C at the beginning of the next measure, then you'll see F where it comes to rest or it resolves. So let's play everything together. Let's do that one more time. So let's play it now from the beginning. Remember, try and not learn the entire song all together because you'll forget what you did before. So let's try and learn it piece by piece, put it together. From beginning. Very good, very good. I like that. And remember now, the next line is almost exactly like the first one. So let's try that. The same thing we did at the first time around. Same thing. But the left hand changes now in the second measure of that second line. So it goes from D to a B natural. Now, if you should look at the score, at the music sheet, you'll see a sign that looks like a sharp sign, but parts of the sharp sign is missing. That is telling us that we don't use the flat, which is a B flat. We naturalize it and we use a B natural right there. So let's try it. So the left hand changes slightly. Then we go to the next line, which is so let's try that. Now, what would I play there? What would I teach you to play there? So it starts with A. And that will work. So we go from A, then we play the next measure, we play F, but it resolves on C. Okay? And that's fine. So remember now, for that line which says God and sinners reconcile, we play A, then the next measure, reconcile, we start with F to C. So start that now. Then remember, take it from the beginning to the point that you are at now. Beautiful. Let's try that once more now from the beginning, and we can see the different changes here. Good. Now the next line is easy. Once you have learned what we did with the right hand, the next line is so easy. So all we do with that first part is to stay on F, on C. That's all C. Then we go to our E, or to make it easy for you, you can stay on C. It sounds just as good. Okay, so we can either use the E if you want, or you can just stay on C. So let's stay on C to make it easier, right? Let's try that one more time. And that will make it so easy for you to stay on C. Remember now, I'm trying to get you to start playing the piano, and there are so many other things that you can do, and none of them is the only thing that you can do with any of these songs. You can play different notes, you can harmonize it differently. We can do so many things with it. But we're trying to get you to play the piano and to enjoy playing the piano. And that is the most important thing. Now, so let's take it from the top. As usual, we must, when we get to a certain point and we learn what we learned there, we have to take it from the beginning so we don't forget what we did at the beginning. Okay? All right. Let's try it one more time. go to the next line. This is what we play in the right hand. For a reminder, so that we start on B flat. So let's start on B flat, and we can go from B flat to the G, or we can use D, which is one of the songs that I like to use there. Okay, so just to teach you that part, we go from B, da, 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 da. And then the next line will be back to the B flat. So it's B flat, then we go to C, then to F. Okay. So let's try that together. And from there it gets easier. So let's try it now from the beginning. Very good. Now let's do the last line. The last line is just like the line that came before it. Now, some people may prefer to use the F sharp there, but it depends on how you decide to harmonize it. This is just an easy way to get you to start playing. And then the last, very last phrase is so we start on E, which is the first note in that measure, in the left hand, then we play C, and then we resolve this at F. Very good. So let's play that very last line, which is the chorus or the refrain. All right. So now it's time for us to take it from the top and put everything together. Okay, so take your time, divide the song up into small pieces, small parts, and then put those small parts together. Now remember, you learn the first part, study that. Then learn the second part, study that. Then put the first part and the second part together. Study both of them together. Do the third part. Study that. Then you put the first, second, and third together. And it becomes longer and you complete more of the song. Then you do the fourth part and you follow that pattern. Try not to just learn each part to the end of the song. By the time you get back to the beginning, you have to really learn what you did in the beginning. So learn each part and put it together with what you had in the beginning. That's the easiest and quickest way to practice and to learn these songs. And then when you get more advanced, and for those of you who are more advanced right now, then you can add the chords to it. And what you'll find in the chord structure, it will be influenced by your culture. It will be influenced by the music that you hear around you. It will be influenced by your own feeling and your own musicality, what you feel inside. But there are some basic chords that we're going to use, and there are some more complex chords that can be used. And depending on what your culture is and how you feel, you will add other sounds to it. So let's play a couple of ways in which you can harmonize the very thing. So this may be one way you think of it. Or you may feel to use other chords or another rhythm, or just to change a beat or a slight emphasis in the song. You might want to do it slower, or to add, for effect, you play different. Whatever way, I don't know a whole lot of different chords or different structures, but you might find something where you're from or how it impresses you. Whatever it is, just make music. And most importantly, make music to the glory of God. So thank you, and we'll be back in a few seconds.
Healthcare workers are working very hard to ensure lives are saved and people recover quickly from COVID-19. But their work is becoming harder because you're not wearing your mask, washing your hands with soap and water, or using hand sanitizer, and you are not maintaining physical distance. Let's limit the need for hospital beds and ventilators. Do the right thing. Cover your nose and mouth with a mask. Practice good hand hygiene and maintain a physical distance of 6 feet between you and others. COVID-19 is not over. Protect yourself while protecting others. A message from the Ministry of health and wellness.
Happy to have you today. It was a good class. It excited me just to teach this, just to show you how to practice, and for us to play holiday songs. I must tell you, these songs uh, are really exciting to me. I love the season. I love the music that you hear during the season. And the thing is that a lot of people tend to be nicer this season. There are some people who tend to be a lot sillier during the season. However, um, we have to remember, as much as we know, we hardly anybody really believes that Jesus was born on the 25th of December. However, we believe that he was born, and what is even more important is that he died. And what is even more important than that is that he was raised from the dead. And what is even way more important than all of that is that he is coming again. So we love to celebrate the season when people come together, families come together. In this COVID time, we might not be able to have family from outside coming in, but it's just a time when a lot of people enjoy, and I love the music. What I would encourage you to do is that you share Jesus Christ at this time. Our behavior, or what we tell other people when we come in contact with family members who are not saved, we tell them about Jesus Christ. Because even though they might not believe in Jesus, they will know that this season the world celebrates the birth of Jesus Christ. So let's not miss an opportunity. And what is even better for you students is this: you can share with your family members some of the music that you have learned during this special season. We can play Joy to the World for them. Teach them what you have learned, and by teaching them also, you might be able to introduce them to Jesus Christ. We can play for them Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and we can tell them of the good news that happened during that period of time. And at this time, there are people that will be willing to listen. But most of all, say something to somebody about Jesus. Don't waste the opportunity. And remember to practice and practice and practice, so you can show them things, and you can show them what you have learned, how you have learned it, and also introduce them to Jesus. So thank you for coming. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for tuning in. And you can tune into virtual church at any time. Remember, we broadcast all the time, Sundays right through the week, on Sabbath, Friday night, and you can tune into the voice lessons, the music theory lessons. You can tune into the other piano lessons, and you can also introduce somebody who may want to learn piano, may want to learn music, may want to learn how to sing. And by doing that, remember, you might be just introducing them to Jesus Christ also, because that's what we are all about here on Virtual Church. So thank you for coming. Thank you for being with us. And I'm going to see you the next time we meet again. Bye-bye.